Welcome to another Cycle Breaker session with Judge Dawson. As you know, I am trying my best to give you tools and techniques to improve your life. Look, we've all made mistakes. I was not always a judge. I was just like you. And no matter where you are in life, we always know that sometimes you can make mistakes, you can have setbacks, but it's how you get back up and get back on track. That's what's going to determine how you end up in life. Meaning, are you going to end up successful, achieving the goals that you want to achieve, or are you going to end up with a lot of regrets? And my goal with these sessions is to make sure that you have fewer regrets. We're going to always regret something, but fewer regrets because you put in place tools and techniques and guardrails to make sure that you live your best life, or you go for it as much as you can, right? Okay, I want to start this session off by mentioning those who have children. It is so vitally important that you put your children first when it comes to balancing what you desire versus what's necessary to raise healthy and productive children. Often in my court, I see it over and over again. People who have made bad decisions, not even thinking about the effect that it will have on the young people around them. See, remember this, every time you do something, every time you're into something, every time you have any type of interaction and children are near, they are going to be affected in some way from that interaction. Maybe they're going to witness something that you didn't expect them to witness. Maybe they will hear something that you didn't think they would hear. But either way, it could affect their life positively or negatively. So my finish first message for today, my quick message for today is make sure you are mindful of how what you do will affect the children and the young people around you. Let's go. We're making our way through the Cycle Breaker book, and we are now at the stage where we start talking about the tools to make sure that you're successful. So keep in mind, the Cycle Breaker theory is such. You have to look at it in 4 different ways if you want to break a cycle in your life. And keep in mind, you don't have to have a disastrous situation. It's all about just going to the next level. So the first step is to recognize the need to break a cycle. What does that mean? You have to look at your life, your family, your community, or even the world, and determine what needs to be changed, or what can I help improve. See, once you determine that there's a need to break a cycle, then you move on to the next phase. And let me tell you this, I thought about this recently. It is not a bad thing to break a cycle, because think about it, cycles are something that goes over and over and over again. Now, unless your cycle is one where you're just making money over and over and over again, doing the same thing, the legal thing, then I understand. Maybe you don't want to break that cycle. But in most cases, you always want to break a cycle because you want to go to the next level, right? Who wants to stay in the same circle, the same situation over and over again when you can take it to the next level? And I'm talking about your relationship with the intimate partner, your relationship with your employer, your relationship with God, whatever it is. You always want to go to the next level. I mean, it's cool to have that scenario where you're used to doing the same thing. But why not take our lives to the next level? Why not be cycle breakers? And I present to you that you have every reason to be cycle breakers because life is short. We see that all around us. Life is not guaranteed. Your time is so very valuable. You don't have time to waste. You don't have time to sit back and do the same thing over and over again because you're working for a legacy. When you're gone, you want people to write about you. You want people to text about you. You want the world to remember you. You want to leave a legacy of the work and the seeds that you planted. Now, maybe not every single seed that you plant will turn into something that you are proud of. I mean, we all have mistakes. We all, like I said, we all have setbacks. But what we could do is aim to leave a legacy of our effort, our determination, and then, of course, the results of our work. So again, time is too short to allow yourself to sit in a cycle. So we have to be cycle breakers. So let's go back to the principles of being a cycle breaker. The first one, recognize the need to break a cycle. The second one is you have to commit to breaking the cycle. And we spoke about that in our previous workshops, the necessity of committing to the cause. Because if you don't commit, you're not going to do anything, right? You actually have to actually say, I am going to break this cycle. I am going to go back to school. I am going to get off probation. I will be the best that I can be. I will keep going. See, you have to do that. You have to actually commit to breaking the cycle. Otherwise, you won't do it. We'll recognize it. We'll dabble in it a little bit, may make a few calls, may go to a couple of shows or a couple of workshops, but you won't do it because you have not set in your mind that you're going to commit. So the next step after you recognize the need is committing to breaking the cycle. The third one is what we're going to focus on with this workshop. We're talking about getting tools in order to be able to break a cycle. Tools that you need to be successful. You know, one of the things you want to do before you even go down the road of finding what exact tools you're going to need is you have to prepare your body and mind for success. So one of the things that I always suggest to people is that you wake up early in the morning. Now, for me, my alarm clock rings at 4:30 a.m. I am trying to get up, out, and handle my business. So I have a ritual, and I submit to you that you may want to start a ritual. And it doesn't have to be a 10-point list of things that you do in the morning. Maybe it's one thing. Maybe it's two things. So maybe the first thing is simply to try to get up earlier than you've been getting up. You don't have to get up at 4:30 a.m., but eventually I'll ask you to do so, and you can join me. I actually used to participate in a group that was called the 5 a.m. Club. I didn't start it, but I joined it. And I may start my own club, 5 a.m. Club, for us cycle breakers, so that we can network and motivate and build each other up in the morning. But the bottom line is that you should try to get up early in the morning. There are a few reasons why getting up early is so important. One is it gives you a jump start on anybody else in your house. A lot of us live with other people. And once people wake up, it can get chaotic in the house, right? Kids moving, screaming, playing, people with expectations, the cell phones ringing, everything starts to go. So when you wake up early, you get a chance to get a jump start on all of that mess, and maybe you get just a few minutes to yourself. Maybe those few minutes are used to just meditate, to think, maybe just to lay still with nobody bothering you, but you're still conscious, right? So the key is you want to get up very early in the morning and take some time to yourself. Now, I don't know what you believe in religiously. Maybe you believe in God and Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ always went off by himself early in the morning so that he can concentrate and connect with God. Maybe that's not your belief. Maybe you just trust in what I'm telling you to do because, I'm your judge and I've been doing this. I get up early in the morning. I get up early every single day, and I have a series of things that I do. The first thing I do is I meditate. I get up in the morning and I meditate because I want to take some time alone to clear my mind. Not only of thoughts from my dreams and all that stuff, but even from the previous days. I want to clear my mind so that I walk into this day refreshed, or at least with a calm sense of being. Now, meditation is not the be all to end all, meaning if you meditate, it doesn't mean all your problems are going to go away. But I do that because I like to start fresh. So the first thing I do in the morning is I get up and meditate. Maybe for you, the first thing you do in the morning could be to get up and make your bed. Now, if you're in the bed with somebody else, maybe you won't be able to do that because remember, you're getting up earlier than everybody else. But you want to have your own ritual. Maybe it's to get up, look in the mirror and say, good morning, to yourself. I don't know. I don't care what it is, but start now. Set a ritual. Get up in the morning and figure out at least one thing that you're going to do every single morning. So for me, again, I get up, I meditate. After I meditate, I start moving my body, whether it's doing some push-ups, some sit-ups, something to get the blood flowing. Then I begin to read. Every single morning, the same things I read. It may be a different order, but I do this before I get anything else started. And then I go into some cardio, whether it's riding on a bike, doing some jumping jacks. You don't need any equipment. You don't need any excuses. But the key is you want to do something that gets you motivated in the morning. So get up early and start a ritual. So once you decide that one thing you're going to do every morning, I'd like you to also add one more thing to your list. Now, remember, your list can be very long. It doesn't have to be short. But this is something that I want you to do over the next 30 days, and let's see how it transforms your life. I want you to make a gratitude list. A gratitude list. Every morning when you wake up, I want you to take a moment. Maybe you've meditated. Maybe you've used the bathroom, whatever you have to do. I want you to take a moment to think about, what are you thankful for? What do you have gratitude for? See, using gratitude on the daily basis will change your life. And I'll tell you, eventually that'll be something that you can do every day, all day long. For me personally, I try to tap into gratitude all the time. So this is how I do it. When I get up in the morning, I start my gratitude list. And a gratitude list is simply writing down the things that you are thankful for. Maybe your first one is, hey, I'm thankful for waking up this morning. I'm thankful that I can use my hand to write. My writing may be sloppy. I may misspell some words, but I have motion in my hand. I'm thankful for the fact that I can hear things or I can see things, whatever it is. Get up and use some gratitude. And let me tell you why. Because some people don't wake up in the morning. Some people are not fortunate enough to live another day, another hour, even another minute. So when you wake up in the morning, that's a blessing in and of itself. So that's the first step, is to say, you know what? I am grateful for the fact that I am even up this morning. So you make your gratitude list and you go ahead and write it down. And I would suggest, if you put it on a piece of paper, maybe rip that piece of paper out. If you don't want to keep the list, fold it up and put it in your pocket. That way you can have that list with you all day. And whenever you need that boost of energy, whenever you need to know that things can get better, though they seem like they're going out of control, whip out that gratitude list and read it all over again. I am thankful that I am up this morning. I am thankful that I have eyes to see, a hand to write. I'm telling you, it may seem elementary, but it will change your life, because all day things are coming at you. Think about my life. I'm blessed, right? But I'm a judge. So when I go to court, I don't just hear your case. I hear 20 other cases, all different types, and I have to deal with all that energy coming at me. It's not my energy. It's energy from other people, their cases, their issues, their problems, their attitude. Hey, judge, you've been taking too long. Hey, judge, I don't like the way you ruled on my case. So when I get a little out of sorts, a little upset, I'll whip out my gratitude list and I'll say, you know what? I'm thankful that I'm a judge. I think it's a blessing that I'm able to be here right now. I'm thankful that I can feel my body sitting on this chair. See, it's little things like that that will reel you back in when you are upset. So when you're arguing with your boyfriend or you're yelling at your kids, take a time out and say, what can I be thankful for in this situation? Well, I'm thankful that I have children. I'm thankful that these children are alive and they're not hurt and they're not in the hospital. Even that mate that gets on your nerves, you can at least say, hey, I'm thankful that I have ears to hear. I don't like what they're saying. They're getting on my nerves. They're nagging. But wow, I have ears, and some people don't have the blessing of hearing. So a gratitude list is so very important, and it's something that will keep you energized and fueled all day long. So don't leave out the house without your gratitude list being created. And I would say, if you don't remember to do it all day long, fold that piece of paper up, put it in your pocket, and don't leave without having it with you. Because gratitude and expressing gratitude will be the fuel that will keep you positive all day long. When stress builds up, when people's mess builds up, that gratitude will keep you powerful and keep you focused on the blessing of life. And that'll keep you on the road to being a cycle breaker, because you can't break a cycle if you have low energy, and your energy will get low. But if you're thankful for the moments that you have, you can build it back up. Why is it important to get your tools together? Because life is short. I said it before. And it's time for you to get in the game and play. Maybe you've been riding on the bench for too long. What do I mean by riding on the bench? Maybe you don't feel your opportunity has blossomed. You've been working, you have all these ideas, nothing seems to work, but it is your moment. It is your time. Maybe you've been in and out of court, in and out of trouble. People taking you down to child support. Maybe you're going through a divorce or a separation, but it is your time to say, you know what? This is a game of life. And though I have setbacks, and though I may be down on the scoreboard, I can still play. And better than that, I can play to win. So I submit to you that by getting your tools together, by saying that you are no longer going to sit on the sidelines and just watch the game go by in front of you. The score is running up, but you're not even in the game. You're not even putting the effort in. And I'll tell you this, even if you don't win, even if you don't score a point, just playing the game has its benefits. Your life is enriched because you're involved. You are getting your voice heard because you go down to the march. You are getting your opinion heard because you stand up for yourself and you let them know that, hey, I matter. So quit sitting on the bench. Quit letting life pass you by and be prepared, right? Because oftentimes when you're sitting on the bench, you're sitting there drinking a 40 ounce, smoking your weed, doing drugs, whatever it is, partying all night. So you're not even prepared to get in the game. But that's not what life is about. Life is way too short. Your opportunity is right now. Your opportunity is right now to leave a legacy. Right now to get that new job. Right now to take the steps that you need to take to get off probation. It's all a process. Right now is your chance to pray your way out of that divorce situation to a positive next life. This is devastating, but you can get to that next level, but don't let this one weigh you down. Don't let it sit you on the bench and get out the game. Still live. So that's why it's so important for you to get your tools together, because life is going to give you setbacks. But that's when you have to look in that tool bag and say, you know what? I know what I can do in this situation, or I know what I can do to get back on track in that situation. It doesn't have to all be negative, but it's up to you. Because remember, we're talking about being cycle breakers, and it is time to be a cycle breaker. Don't go into the same situation over and over and over again. Instead, slowly continue to move up to that next level so that you can break those cycles and you can create new levels, not only for you, but also for your family, your friends, and just for your legacy, because the world is going to be a little bit better because of what you left behind. So let's be cycle breakers and be the best that you can be. Let's go.